Okay, are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first set of questions is from Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, what is the purpose or significance of this group coming together at this time?
Okay, so the question is very valid. The significance and connection between the beings who are all connected is because it's for support. You are all soul family. You are all here for this very purpose in this time to be able to support each other because you are like minded and you all have that thirst and drive for information and knowledge. So you have known each other in many other lifetimes. You're here to support each other to make you feel less, in quotation marks, crazy with your intuition as you navigate through life at this time. It is very heightened humanity's experience right now. And so this is why you need to stretch out and reach out and support and nurture everyone as the best you can as you are individually growing and you wanting to connect together as your little collective forms to be able to support each other. You are a great community, and you have always hoped and planned at this time, this moment in time, that you would be able to find each other and support each other, and you're doing a very good job with it because you can trust each other at the most profound level as you've all grown and taken your spiritual steps. Each one of you can recognize and see where you are all at. And so there is a beautiful sense of balance without the normal dramas and egos that one would assume would take place in a group. And so you are balancing each other off quite beautifully.
Beautiful, great to know that. So, a follow up question to that is, what can we do collectively to help the earth or the people around us to create positive change?
Mhm. Be the change that you want to see. So you are supporting each other to be able to raise your collective energy yourselves. By the fact that you are individual people supporting each other, which makes you feel you are supported, you are less alone, that will grow and raise your vibration and you will be stronger as a team unit. And then you will go individually to your own communities and be the pillar of strength because you have that back support. Your community is so important for you. This connection with each other is so important because while you may share today one story, it may not be able to be applied and approached and used by someone else within the group moving forward in their time. So you're all sharing really important information that and some days may not feel applicable, but then literally the next day you may find yourself using the same information. So you're manifesting great change. You're manifesting and working together as a team to raise your vibration already. And so you're doing exactly what you should be doing. You're supporting each other to be able to support humanity. And we couldn't be more proud.
Oh, that's so exciting. Thank you so much. Now we have a couple of questions from Nikki. Um, she wants to know, she says, I think Arcturians are a male female blend. Is that correct?
We do not have the genders that you perceive as being male or female. We are beings who have the purpose of being able to supply our genetics to be able to produce a child, if you will. But you are our children, so we do not need the genders. So we are without gender, and we can create our children, if you will, being you. You are our children, and we are watching and supporting you while you are experiencing this human lesson.
Wow, beautiful. Um, who or what decided their beautiful style of dress slash appearance?
Okay, so our appearances are not just uniform to look like one thing. We understand that when you look and search for the images of us, it will come off as one specific looking being. And just like with your how humans and humanoids look quite different from culture to culture and from trend. We have our own subtle ways to dress ourselves if we wish. We do not need the clothing at all. We are not needing to be modest because there is nothing for us to be modest about with our bodies. We do have uniforms as such to identify our rankings in our ships, but it is just for more recognition of who we are. So when we are meeting other councils, when we are doing other duties on behalf of our ship, we will dress accordingly. So clothing is not necessary, but we do it for official business.
Okay, great. So a follow-up to that is, in the limited images that we have seen, we look at our Arcturian family members as tall, slender, blue beings with big, dark eyes and vibrant clothing. Is this accurate, or is it just a small fraction of how you really do appear?
Yes, the body is accurate, but we do not stick to the coloring. We have a range of colors for our advancements. We are really crystalline bodies, but the blue beings that you see are one frequency. And as you graduate up through the frequencies, through the rankings, through the vibrations, you will change and you will become more light colored. So more white, more opaque. And you can see your rankings. This is why we don't necessarily need to wear clothing as such, because as well, with when we're amongst ourselves, is because you can see the rankings of who we are. Our, I don't want to say advancements, because we were very special, we're unique. We don't want to we have placements within ourselves of how we are, how we have processed and engaged the information and who we are and the knowledge and wisdom that we carry. And so we represent that with, when you vibrate at a higher vibration, you change your color to a more white, like crystalline body appearance. And so while there is the shall we say, the basic blue, which also is a representation of the Palladians, so we all share very similar body shapes and structures. We do understand that only, only until you meet us will you see us and sense us. And while there has been many artists reconstructions of who we are and what we look like, it is still not us as such to a pure 100% likeness. We have not photos. So we will say that there is, there's artist renditions of us. But for us, it doesn't matter our appearances. It's about our frequency and our signature energies that we extend out to each other. But we also know you're very curious about physical things, because you are very much a physical, you're very much focused on your physical experiences, because you are very physical in 3D. So you are needing to match like for like and be able to understand it. And we cannot describe to you in the best accuracies that we could for you, to help you to be able to understand what we look like and how we can change our colorings and how we function bodily wise. But we could tell you as much as you needed to know, but of course we can only communicate with you with these words.
Beautiful. That helps a lot. That makes a lot of sense. So we appreciate that. So Nikki wanted to know, have Arcturians always been Arcturian consciousness, or have they been physical beings or seeded with any other star seed mixes?
Okay, so we all have come from source, and we all have had different conscious experiences in life. So that's what you would classify as your higher selves. So most likely your first lifetimes have been without physical bodies, consciousness. As you experience and explore different environments and experiences, you can have fantastic lives just being consciousnesses without the physical. And then it's sort of like, as you advance your beings, you lower yourself in dimensions to be able to explore as much as you possibly can. So you sort of seem to master it's like, we understand that she is perceiving that, first of all, you start off being physical and you grow, and then you kind of get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you're a light body, and then you're your higher self. We're saying you start off being your higher self, and you go back and back and back and back and back. As you bigger you grow, the more you can explore the harder challenges. And having a physical body in the 3D on planet right now is one of the most hardest challenges there is, because the density and the range of motions is very challenging. It has got the most richest experiences of challenges. So we hope that answers your question in terms of which way does the evolution go. You've all got your higher selves first, that you have always been before, because as you shift away from source and you become your own conscious minds, and then that's your higher selves lives, and then you evolve and you trickle down, then you experience your subconscious minds. Your subconscious selves are all Arcturian. You have your Arcturian, so your guides, your master guides are your Arcturian subconscious minds, who are very connected to you, who are constantly speaking to you. And if you trusted the information that first comes to your mind, when you ask them questions, that is them. There is no disconnect. You're so connected to your subconscious and therefore your higher self consistently. It is impossible. The only reason why you feel disconnected is because you don't trust the information, and you doubt. There's a lot of doubt, and there's a lot of belief systems that you must do X, Y, and Z to be able to connect to your subconscious and your higher selves. And most people are not aware that your subconscious is in fact actually another being. You all have Arcturian subconsciousnesses who are in ships, who are hovering around now over your planet and have been your entire lives.
Wow. That is very, very insightful. Thank you so much for that. So do the Arcturians visit other universes like they visit other galaxies?
Yes, of course, but they have a big mission right now, and this is to support humanity. And so your Arcturian counterparts, your subconsciousnesses, your guides, are on the ships, who have been watching humanity for the entirety of humanity coming here for this experience. And so, yes, there is many different ships all around the universe is exploring, and you are all connecting. The Arcturians have got a great connection to each other. And so they are very much on the pulse of what is happening, not just to this planet right now, but to all of the civilizations, and to all the planetary universes and galaxies throughout. We do travel, and we have been traveling because we have been here for quite some time. So we are able to explore. However, there is so much, there is so much to do just in our neighborhood of where our planetary systems lay. We are exploring and helping our neighbors. So we do not all necessarily want to do the bigger trips, but we can. We absolutely can.
Beautiful. Her follow-up question was, when you are visiting these other spaces and galaxies, is it via the Milky Way, the black hole, Hunapku?
So we use Orion. There is a portal there that takes us through to the other sides of anywhere we want to go. So we have got many connections to being able to travel. So we do use portals to be able to take us and make us, like, our ships are very huge. They're a generational ship. So the travel that you're suggesting would be one of our big generational ships. And so you do need the bigger portals, which is Orion.
Okay, beautiful. She did ask, and I'm not clear what this means. She said, do you travel through black holes or through infinite zero gravity points, or both?
So black holes we do not travel through, because there is they are sort of different from what you assume they are. We do go through the portals, which is the second statement that she was referring to, the neutral zones.
Okay, beautiful. Now we're going to move on to some questions that Jorge had. And please bear with me, it's a little long. I will try to filter it. He said, I have the feeling that in order to ascend, we need to experience suffering in this incarnated life, like a rebirth. Does this make sense for the Arcturian Council as well?
Your choice to come to this lifetime right now is not to suffer, but to experience. And so you're experiencing humanity's lifetime right now and all that it is playing out. If you've chosen to have a life full of suffering, that is your life contract and the lessons that you want to be able to provide for yourself and experience. And so we say that life isn't about suffering, it is about experiencing. And you may have some fun lifetimes where it is all being fun, but you are in 3D dimensional lives. So your range of fun will still be limited from what we would consider fun. So you are still mastering those lower vibrations of emotions. So we don't think that suffering is quite the right word. That's a very negative approach to what life is all about, which is the lessons and experiences. To ascend, you do not need to suffer. To ascend, you need to raise your vibration up and see that any suffering has been put there for you for a lesson to learn and grow from and to navigate and see neutral and to not be the victim, but to be able to understand that the lessons that have been provided are an honor and a gift.
Perfect. I think what he was also asking is, do we have to suffer to kind of learn the lessons so that we can really also appreciate what is coming for all of us?
Again, we find the word suffering is very sort of over dramatic to what really life is. But we understand it's a choice of words that he has, but you do not need to come to earth to suffer to then be able to ascend. It is not about having punishment or to experience pain. It is about experiences. So some of you have not wanted and needed to experience that because you've already experienced it in other lifetimes. So some of you are here just simply to come to earth to do your humanitarian work, which is to raise a vibration, to share the light, and to be able to hold space for other people. And to be able to connect and ground your energy, your very big energy, onto this planet. There are some of you that are second wave volunteers that are here exactly for this purpose. And so you don't not need to come to suffer. You need to come here and experience and learn from and grow. You would have a fantastically easy, simple life and still ascend. So you don't need to have the suffering to then qualify to ascend. It is not about the suffering aspect of it. It is about lessons and understanding purposes and experiences and raising your vibration enough to be able to be ready for the shift.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that. His other question is, why are we unable to remember our past lives and incarnations?
This is an experience of one life. What would be the purpose of coming here remembering everything? The reason why you're coming here is because you are the bigger beings who have naturally gifted and graceful lives where you have all wisdom and technology at your fingertips, and you have come here to be removed from that knowing and that wisdom and that knowledge to be able to explore the emotions and the physical experiences of what life on earth provides.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Yes, his follow-up question, I think you just answered. He was asking, is it true that we were genetically modified in order to forget our past life experiences? But I think you just answered in your previous question that that's not the case.
Humanity has been genetically modified to keep up with the vibrations. This is called evolution. We have jumped forward. Humanity has jumped forward quite a few times. the first original bodies, humanoid bodies here on Earth, were quite different. And we sort of, the Palladians will go away and come back and sort of tweak and modify your DNA to make you jump forward. So yes, he is asking about if we have been, if you've been genetically modified. The truth is you have been, your bodies. Your bodies specifically have been evolving with rapid change. Not that you are really necessarily aware of it, but we are talking here about the history of humanity for humanoids on this planet. So yes, we have the Palladians have been experimenting with how the bodies thrive and function at this that current state of the vibration of the planet, and they're tweaking and modifying it because there are many other planets that are in the 3D that need to be seeded for to start their own planets and to experience the challenges there. So yes, he is very aware of these situations where the experiments of the bodies have been tweaked and modified. And it is not against your free will. This is completely part of your agreements. But you naturally yourselves, obviously you were babies and you have developed into adults. Congratulations. And while you have grown, you have changed and shed many cells, and each time you regenerate new organs and replenish the cells of your organs, you are getting the latest updates. You all have DNA of the Arcturian base because that is what you resonate with. That is your frequency signature. This is why you all connect with each other and know and feel other Arcturians, because it's a signature frequency that matches your own.
Great. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for sharing that. Now I'm moving on to some questions that Vinita has, and she would like to know, one of the recent messages channeled by Daniel Scranton talked about 5G rolling out. My understanding is that all of those towers were replaced by Tesla technology in 2018 with healing frequency. Is that accurate?
We have much to say about that channeler, but we will stick to the topic of 5G. So people were concerned because the original 5G was going to be radiation-based frequency, which was going to harm humanity without a doubt. So we have stepped in, just like we have stepped in many times to disarm and disfuse. This is the reason why you have nothing to worry about with nuclear missiles and weaponry, because we have disarmed all. We are protecting you from you. We are protecting humanity from humanity. And this is one of the reasons why we've been watching you so closely, is because we are making sure that anything that happens is with our blessing, because we can see the consequences of what has happened. Your experiments, the humans here, are very valuable in terms of your human experiences, and we will not let anything destroy that. This is very important because we are your family, you are our family, and we are wanting bigger, better things for you. This has been a great experiment, and we're wanting to keep it safe as much as we can. However, we do understand that you are constantly being exposed to poisons, and this is the reason why we have been updating your bodies, and this is why we keep pushing and giving you updates to protect you as much as you can. While your bodies are disposable, you are not a body, you merely have one. You are able to experience the most you can while still being exposed to other agendas. The 5G systems, yes, it was just got plans now to be able to provide a new form of power and energy. And so they will be and are capable of being used for different programs now and different activities. So while we say, yes, Tesla was aware of this technology, he was still using our technology. Who do you think Tesla was? Who do you think he got his information from? Where do you think he got his information from? He was one of us. And so we're merely feeding him the information that we wanted to give to you. And so this is all fine again, and however this is implemented and switched on, when it's switched on, if it may switch on, if it may need to be switched on, it is with our full endorsement.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the last part? It is with...
It is with our full endorsement.
Okay, beautiful. So just to make sure and clear that we are protected and that no harm is going to come to us from this 5G technology.
We want to say, if anyone is still concerned about anything that's going to give you harm, you still have a lot of inner work to do, and you have no connection with us, because we have always told you many times that you are safe and protected. And if your intuition is in fear-based, you desperately need to connect with us more.
Good to know. Yes. So this does bring up a question, and maybe we will look at this at our next session about why this message would have come through to us just a few days ago. So we'll tackle that next time. But the follow-up question is...
We just want to stop you here. Is if channelers are telling you that you need to be careful because of the radiation or damage that could be presented to you for humanity, that channeler is based in fear. That channeler is not giving you the pure information. We are monitoring you closely, and just like with nuclear arms, we will not let anything happen to you. So your bodies are disposable, as we said, but given the fact of what's happening for humanity, we are very aware of everything that is happening, and we would be making great judgment calls if something bad, like a big nuclear missile, was going to be used. We would pull you out of your bodies before that would occur. We would not let humanity be destroyed.
Yes, thank you for that. Because my follow-up question to that was, in that same message that was, channeled, they said from the Arcturian Council, they suggested lining our walls with lead for protection. And we trust the council, but this suggestion definitely did not resonate. Why would they suggest a material that is toxic and banned in many countries?
You are speaking to the Arcturian Council right now, and we did not endorse that message. That is not our message. That is fear-based messages. And we implore you to use your intuition, to know the truth. Do not be fooled with the people misusing our names.
Thank you so much. That's very, very valuable for us to make sure that any messages that do come in, that we still need to focus on our own intuition and discernment.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. And this gives us great frustration that we are being misused, and that our names are being bastardized, because we are your protectors. And for you to think that we would let anything harm you, we control so much. We have so much control, but we don't take away your free will. We would not let anything harm you that would do detrimental damage to you. But we say this, and also add, your bodies are disposable. And from what we can see for humanity and what is going to be happening to humanity, and we do not see this to be a problem at all. And you know exactly what we're referring to. You do not need to worry. Do not worry. Worry will be the cancer of your soul. If you continue to worry about your bodies, focus and value your minds, value your hearts, value your hearts.
Thank you so much for that insight. That's incredibly valuable. And I'm very excited to have the group hear all of this information. I'm going to go back to some of Nikki's questions. And she asked, I know the Arcturians care for newly passed souls and their consciousness, especially where deep healing is needed. Do the Arcturians ever get sick? And if so, what do they do to get better?
We do not get sick. There is no necessity for us to get sick. There is no purpose for it. And when we have chosen to pass on, to go back to source, It is because we've learned all our lessons and explored everything we could, and we are tired. To make it very simple. So we feel that there is something that we want to start again. We will go back to source and start again. The souls who are departed, they go to their healing chambers, they go back to their, they get absorbed back into source. They can stay in a different dimension and process and have their life review and explore the lessons on a different side, a different perspective. There really is not that much trauma. As soon as you leave your body, you have the veil removed and you're awoken and you're awake and you're aware of much more than you were as you were in body.
Perfect. This might be connected to your answer, but she asked, do Arcturians survive in source energy, or do they need to energize via crystals, sunlight, Christ light?
We don't need nourishment. We are radiating at such a high frequency that ourselves, we are like self-powered. And so we do like the frequency of each other because we support each other with the higher frequencies. And we can use crystals if we want, but that is more to really move our ships and power ourselves and keep us within the conditions and the environment that we are comfortable at in our generational ships. So we can, if we want, consume a fluid-like substance, and that is also fine. Our bodies have much less organs than yours. What else would you like to know?
No, that I think that answers the question. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Nikki also wanted to ask, she says, I understand that you at times travel in ships. What shape are the ships and where does the mothership reside?
Which mothership? We have multiple motherships. We are a huge civilization. And the ships come in various different sizes and shapes.
Do they reside in Arcturus?
Well, there are beings that are on the planet that live on the planet and other planets that are around Arcturus. And the ships are our traveling ships that are also generational, so you can have a long time term travel. And this is the ones that are around the planet right now. There's multiple ones around the planet right now. They are, residing here for the duration of humanity, and you're aware of how long you've been here for. So there is, they're our vehicles. It's the way that we house ourselves and still connect with our civilization while still supporting humanity and this planet right now.
Beautiful. Nikki was asking, she says, can you tell us about Arcturus?
It is a planet that has some moons and has a long history, mostly of peace and exploring, that is rich in minerals. It has similar, you have similar experiences to your family connections as such. You are the bigger advanced beings there, and it is a way of life that is quite different from yours, but also quite the same. We have our friends, we have the people that we feel really connected to. We do our jobs there, which may be training us to be able to go and support and understand different civilizations and planets, or we may be choosing to stay on our planet and explore our planet and do things to maintain our planet. We are more at harmony and peace. We have had some challenges in the past with different approaches of how we should be navigating ourselves with our directions on who we should be supporting and how we should be supporting them. We don't feel like it's an extraordinarily different planet from others. We feel like we are just a civilization that has thrived through tremendous times, and while we have connections to that planet, we are also strongly connected to the planets we have helped seeded and supported. So Earth is not just our only project. We have many other projects of other planets as well that we are supporting at their different stages of their evolution.
Beautiful, thank you. Is there a average lifespan for Arcturians, or is it not defined by any kind of time?
We understand that you are connected to your man-made time, so we could say thousands of years for you to understand that. But for us in our position, our time's quite different. So we're not measured on any sort of. We measure our lives and our lifespans with the growth and the experiences that we have. We're very curious. We want to be able to understand how everything ticks, and how civilizations can grow and flourish and decline and grow and flourish and decline. And so we are just curious, and we observe so much. But we are also the protectors of such planets, not just from yourselves, even though humanity is quite the naughty kids on the block, shall we say, because you have done such horrible things to each other. But there are other beings that are out there that are also quite interested in planets. And with your current technology, you are very susceptible and vulnerable to other beings who have got great vast technology that could do much damage to your planet. So we are protecting you from them, and we're protecting you from you. So we are very busy with that too.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for that. This is all the questions we have for you today. So we really all appreciate you being here and sharing all this wisdom and information with us. It is incredibly helpful. So thank you so much.
It was nice to connect with you all, and we have been watching your growth, and we are very excited that you are getting to the stage of you're opening your awareness and consciousness to us and the bigger concepts. And we understand it is quite tremendous for you to suddenly have that big leap of faith, understanding that you do not just have a one lifetime experience and that is your end final existence. We understand that that is purposeful, because you needed to really be in the now moment of experiencing your lives and feel that this is the only thing you have and the only thing you are. And that experience and that position of your lifetimes gives you that sense of trusting and really emerging yourself in your realities. And that is really important for your own growth, the lessons that you wanted to explore here and the experiences you wanted to learn from. And so you mostly have quite a different outlook to life, because most of you, this is your first lifetime here. You have, this is it. You have come to Earth right now to be able to help humanity through their big transition. And so you are, this is very foreign to you. You've had the bigger life experiences because while you were here for this one time, you thought, right, let's experience everything. Give me all you got. And this is exciting for you because while you're usually on the other side organizing and preparing and protecting humanity and all the other civilizations, you often give yourself the experience of the last bit. We don't want to talk too much about this because we do know a lot of you are not aware of the future for humanity and this planet. And so we do not want to go too further with this conversation, but it is very purposeful why you're here now. is very significant why you are here now in this lifetime.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you sharing this information with us today.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.